The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Tuesday, October 28th reveals that Chelsea Lawson will get a shocker while Victor Newman accepts Phyllis Summers's offer. At the ranch, Phyllis will arrive with a tempting proposal. Victor will get updates on Phyllis scoring Kane Ashby's AI software thanks to her excellent hacking skills. Now that Phyllis is in charge of what happens next, she'll enjoy this little power trip. However, Phyllis will be willing to make Victor part of the deal if he'll agree to her terms. Phyllis may drive a hard bargain, but Victor will go along with her proposition in the end. We'll see Victor accept Phyllis's offer and officially reach a deal, though there could ultimately be some betrayals on both sides since that's how they both operate. Kane suspects Phyllis might be behind the program theft, but he hasn't ruled out Victor as the culprit either. Since Kane has someone following Phyllis and expects them to report back, he might find out about her visit to the Newman ranch too. That could leave Kane worried that both Phyllis and Victor are cooking something up. Regardless, Kane will decide he'd better set off some alarm bells for Jack Abbott and make it clear that a threat is in the works. Jack will get a message that's vague and intriguing on Tuesday's show, so that could be from Kyle Abbott if there's strange news from Los Angeles. However, it could also be from Kane if he gives Jack a heads up ahead of his Abbott mansion visit. No matter how it all goes down, Kane will eventually tell Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott about his risky program potentially being in Victor's possession. Other Y&R spoilers say Adam Newman will pick a fight with Billy Abbott, who'll decide he can't take it anymore. Billy will make a fist and wallop Adam at the athletic club where anyone could see, including Chelsea. Chelsea will get quite the horror show when she enters the building and sees Billy go on the attack. Part of Chelsea may assume Adam did something to deserve it, but another part of her will be angry with Billy for escalating things to that level. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Chelsea will lash out at Billy as a result, but he'll think Adam is the problem here. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, October 27th, 2025, have Adam and Chelsea facing an unexpected challenge. Kane making a confession to Lily and Daniel and Tessa setting ground rules. Adam and Chelsea got on the same page when it came to taking down Kane and Billy, despite Chelsea having sympathy for the latter. It's a good thing they're united these days, because on Monday's show, they're going to face an unexpected challenge. Will a rival media company fire back at Newman Media and write a hit piece on Adam and Chelsea? They do have some things in their past that they might not want brought up, after all. But as long as Chelsea and Adam remain united, there's nothing they can't handle. Kane managed to get an audience with Lily, Bossy Anini, where he poured out his heart. She seemed to be more open to hearing what Kane was telling her. Perhaps a reunion between the two is not out of the question, someday. On Monday's show, watch for Kane to confess to Lily. What else can he have to say to her that he hasn't already revealed? Kane might be willing to come clean on what happened while he was away from Genoa City. Maybe he'll let Lily know that it wasn't just the storm that kept all his guests captive last summer at his chateau. It's a roll of the dice, because while Lily appreciates honesty, she doesn't like deception. Well, it happened. Daniel and Tessa kissed last week. She'd had a bit too much to drink, was feeling vulnerable, and when Daniel was helping her up the stairs at the Genoa City Athletic Club, she went in for a smooch, and he responded. On Monday's show, watch for the two to establish some ground rules. We can imagine that Daniel and Tessa want to hang on to their friendship and certainly continue their guitar lessons. But that can't go smoothly if there's an attraction while Tessa and Mariah's relationship is still so unsettled. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 3 weeks, October 27th to November 14th, reveal that Claire Newman will face a hot dilemma while Sienna Bacall interrogates Mitch Bacall. Michael Baldwin will also face a risky decision, so here's what fans can look forward to. The week of October 27 to 31 will bring Lily Winter's concerns after Kane Ashby admits his AI software is gone. Kane will admit he's leaning toward either Phyllis Summers or Victor Newman being behind the thief. Y&R fans know it was Phyllis who scored that AI program for herself, but she'll be willing to share with Victor as part of a deal they're about to strike. Back with Kane, he'll leave Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott worried when he tells them about the stolen program potentially being unleashed. After Tessa Porter dreams of heating things up in her GCAC room with Daniel Romalotti Jr., she'll also dream a police officer has come to haul Mariah Copeland off to jail. The athletic club will also set the stage for Billy Abbott and Adam Newman's showdown, which will end with Billy taking a swing at Adam right as Chelsea Lawson appears. In Los Angeles, Kyle Abbott will quiz Sienna again as he works to uncover secrets he can use against Audra Charles. However, it looks like Kyle will eventually have to head back to Genoa City, whether he gets the info he's after or not. Harrison Abbott is looking forward to Halloween, so Kyle will plan to give him a particularly fun experience. As for Victoria Newman and Nikki Newman, they'll catch a flight to Los Angeles next. Claire may feel like her mom and grandmom are hovering a bit, but she won't let that stop her from hanging out with Holden Novak. Nikki and Victoria will also show support for Noah Newman at the hospital. As for Sharon, her attempt to uncover information about Noah's ordeal could put her own life on the line. Since Victor wants to repair his relationship with Michael Baldwin deep down, he'll offer a path forward. Will Michael accept Victor's offer, despite how much Lauren Fenmore Baldwin is going to hate it? During the week of November 3-7, Lucas will make his long-awaited first appearance as Noah Newman, so those bandages are coming off soon. Y&R fans will see Noah emerge from his coma, but he'll be confused as he tries to make sense of what happened. Mitch will be showing up on screen before long as well, so look for him to face Sienna's outburst and interrogation. Sienna will fret over all this Noah drama and all the Genoa City residents that have now invaded LA. Mitch may insist it's all under control, but he may be a little overconfident as far as Sienna is concerned. As for Danny Romalotti and Christine Blair, their nuptials will take center stage soon enough. There'll be more wedding prep, but the show will inch closer to Christine and Danny's big day as the week of November 10-14 gets underway. Once Noah's had some time to adjust following his coma crisis, Nick and Sharon will hope for answers about what he was doing driving in that canyon. If Noah can remember any details about who ran him off the road, Sharon and Nick will want to hear those too. However, Noah could struggle with some memory issues and even just try to keep secrets, since he was clearly keeping some before all this happened. Claire will also have to decide how far she's going to take her new bond with Holden. Will Claire keep things platonic or decide to enter sizzling territory with Holden next? Claire is drawn to Holden and all his charisma, but part of her still loves Kyle, and maybe always will. There'll be a lot for Claire to navigate when it comes to her messy love life. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the next 3 weeks will be packed with action, so stick with us for updates on all the alarming news and tense interactions. Jack receives a mysterious call, Adam lights a fuse with Billy, and Victor's secret deal could shake up Genoa City's entire power structure. The Young and the Restless spoilers for October 28th tease a tense day in Genoa City as Victor makes a covert move to tighten his control. Jack receives a cryptic warning he can't ignore, and Adam's relentless antagonizing pushes Billy past his breaking point. The fallout could reshape alliances and start a war none of them can contain. Jack is caught off guard when a phone call delivers a cryptic message. Someone out there knows much more than they should and wants Jack rattled. The message leaves him questioning whether this is Victor's newest intimidation tactic or the work of a different enemy like Kane. Either way, Jack can't shrug this off. If Jabot is the target, every Abbott could be next. Adam takes his rivalry with Billy to reckless new heights. He pushes and provokes until Billy's temper flares and he punches Adam, and that reaction is exactly what Adam wanted. Billy has spent weeks teetering between focused vengeance and spiraling instability, but Adam's latest move could send him over the edge. And once Billy loses control, there's no telling who gets hurt in the blast radius. Meanwhile, Victor makes a discreet agreement that could turn the entire Kane situation on its head. This isn't a power play anyone predicted, and that unpredictability is exactly how Victor stays ahead. This time, it's likely a deal with Phyllis. Victor is tightening his grip in silence, and by the time anyone realizes what he's done, it may be too late to stop him. With Jack feeling hunted, Billy reaching his limit, and Victor changing the rules of the game, Tuesday's episode delivers a harsh reminder. In Genoa City, You're only safe until someone decides you're not. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for the week of October 27 to 31 reveals that 2 more GC residents will visit LA while Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers swap info back home. First, Tessa Porter will have a sizzling dream about Daniel Romalotti Jr. joining her in bed. But it'll turn into a nightmare when she imagines a cop wants to lock Mariah Copeland up. While Kane Ashby admits to Lily Winters that he's no longer in possession of the AI program, Phyllis will get Victor Newman to agree to a meeting. From there, Y&R spoilers say Victor will listen to Phyllis' pitch. Phyllis will let Victor in on her stolen software secret and convince him to join forces with her soon enough. Back with Kane, he'll freak Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott out with his admission. Kane will spill that his program is likely under Phyllis or Victor's control, though he may eventually figure out this has become their team effort. Across town, Adam Newman will push Billy over the edge and get socked right in the kisser. Chelsea Lawson will arrive to find a shocking sight as Billy loses his temper and smacks Adam to the carpet. Back with Phyllis, she'll proceed with caution and make sure she protects herself. That's wise considering Victor will be her new partner in crime. As for Victor, he'll summon Michael Baldwin and make him an offer. Victor will be willing to give Michael another chance and hopefully repair their friendship. But Michael will have to play by Victor's rules. Phyllis will also trade information with Billy at some point, so it'll be interesting to see what that exchange involves. Although Phyllis surely won't tell Billy anything incriminating, they might be able to supply each other with useful updates anyway. Despite Jack's concerns about Victor's revenge, he'll resolve to defend his family business no matter what. Jack will do everything in his power to make sure Jabot survives the feud that's about to soar to new heights. Next, Nikki Newman and Victoria Newman will head to Los Angeles. Victoria and Nikki will check on comatose Noah Newman at the hospital, but they'll also make time to catch up with Claire Newman soon. However, Claire will remain pretty busy with Holden Novak, who'll see her in a whole new light as Halloween arrives. It sounds like Claire might wow Holden in the costume department soon enough. After Kyle Abbott grills Sienna Bacall again, he'll apparently fly home for some trick-or-treating fun with Harrison Abbott. Kyle will make up for their time apart, delivering a Halloween to remember and delighting Harrison in the process. Finally, the Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon Newman's hunt for the real Noah crash story will put her in dangerous territory. Trying to put the puzzle pieces together will lead to alarming news for Sharon, so Nick Newman may intervene if she gets in over her head. LA could be a turning point in Nick's love life. Nick's been single for a while on The Young and the Restless. However, his recent trip to Los Angeles is setting up the possibility for romance. But it's not with who fans think. Nick and Sharon's family trip to Los Angeles has turned tragic. Their son Noah was in a car accident and is in a coma. While Sharon sits vigil at Noah's bedside, Nick is searching for answers about his son's accident. Nick's search led him to Sienna's Hollywood club. As Nick interrogated Sienna, she remained calm, cool, and collected. While Sienna thinks Nick brought her story, this isn't the end for the two. There's going to be more scenes between them, and it might be the beginning of a potential romance. Y&R fans on Reddit are already sensing chemistry between Sienna and Nick and support the pairing. The actors are already more interesting together than Nick has been with anyone else in a long time, wrote one fan. I hope to see that pairing happen. Nick doesn't need another woman to save. Let him be saved, wrote one user. Yeah, Nick got a new woman. I could tell, one viewer replied. I could see Josh Morrow and Tamara Braun having chemistry, one supporter commented. Although Y&R seems to be setting up a chic reunion with the LA storyline, things could change. Nick might find himself suddenly attracted to the mysterious club owner. While Sienna is a little rough around the edges, Nick could bring out a new side in her. Yet, their budding romance is already headed for drama before it starts. Sienna is married to Mitch, and like his wife, he's got an air mystery around him. Odds are, Mitch won't like Nick sniffing around his wife, and since Mitch might be responsible for Noah's accident, Nick better watch out. Mitch and Sienna are hiding secrets, which will impact Nick and his family. If Nick finds out that the two had anything to do with Noah's accident, that spells the end of a possible Sienna and Nick pairing. Just in time for spooky season, comes a mystery role so intriguing, we can hardly wait to get all the gory details. Iconic soap vet Roger Howarth is returning to daytime, this time to The Young and the Restless. Deadline has reported that Howarth, who wrapped up an on-and-off run as Dr. Austin Gatlin Holt on General Hospital in 2023, and is best known for his role as the volatile Todd Manning on One Life to Live, will begin taping scenes for his Genoa City debut in mid-September, which would see him appearing on screen for the first time later in the fall. Howarth confirmed the news, saying he's a lucky guy on his personal Instagram account. As we mentioned, the role he'll be playing began as a total question mark. But now we know he's Mitch Bacall, club owner Sienna's husband, per Soap Hub. Ironically, Howarth and Tamara Braun previously worked together on General Hospital when his Franco had the memories of her lost love Drew implanted in his brain. What remains to be seen is how the Emmy winner fits into the new canvas, which currently revolves around another newcomer, Billy Flynn's Kane Ashby. One thing is certain, we're excited to see Howarth take on a new role on Young and Restless. Stay tuned to Soaps for all the details as they break. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, October 28th, reveal that Jack Abbott will get a mysterious message while Billy Abbott loses it on Adam Newman. Y&R fans know Adam has a knack for pushing Billy to his breaking point. That's exactly what Adam will do on Tuesday's episode. So Billy's anger will boil over and cause him to lash out in a big way. After Adam provokes his rival, Billy will sock him in the face and send Adam hurling to the floor at the GCAC. Chelsea Lawson will gape in shock as she walks in and witnesses this sudden attack, so she may blast Billy for getting physical. Of course, Billy will blame Adam, and most likely rip into Chelsea for becoming Victor Newman's little soldier. Chelsea has definitely become more loyal to the Newmans lately, but that's to be expected since her love for Adam is growing stronger every day. Next, let's talk about Victor, since he's about to reach a risky agreement. Phyllis Summers will confess to stealing Kane Ashby's AI program and pitch a deal to Victor, so he'll decide to strike one with her. Both Victor and Phyllis will have to be careful since neither one of them is trustworthy. Nevertheless, this is a situation where Phyllis and Victor will decide to take the risk since the payoff could be beyond their wildest dreams. Over with Jack, he'll mull over a mysterious message. It's possible that'll be from Kyle Abbott, if he drops cryptic hints about what he's up to in Los Angeles. But this could be about Kane Ashby setting up a meeting instead. We know Kane will indeed stop by the Abbott mansion with critical updates, so he might send a mysterious message to Jack beforehand. Whatever the case, Kane will ultimately let Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott know that a storm is brewing. Now that Kane has lost control of the AI program, he'll deliver that unsettling news to the Abbotts and warn that they could soon be under attack. Kane may admit he's not sure whether Phyllis or Victor is behind the theft, but he'll know trouble could be brewing either way. Since Victor and Phyllis are on the verge of teaming up, the Young and the Restless spoilers say disaster could indeed strike for multiple Genoa City residents. Holden and Audra's shady past has been one hot topic. The Young and the Restless's Los Angeles storyline is in full swing. It's a mix of legacy characters and newbies, launching a new mystery that has fans proposing an interesting theory. Listen, we have no issues with Audra or Holden. They are both interesting enough, especially troublemaking Audra, but the show needs more depth and higher stakes. Y&R fans have one twist that would give Audra more roots in Genoa City, and it involves Holden. Is Holden and Audra's secret that he helped her give the baby she miscarried with Noah away? Declared a fan on X. The comments section of the X had fans on board with this theory. That would be soapy. Maybe Schick or grandparents. I wouldn't mind that, insisted a fan. Another fan expressed, yes, since the second I learned they knew each other, I am convinced that's the secret. Other fan comments included, that would be a great little twist, and that is a great plot twist. There was even a fan who recalled something Sienna said, writing, Holden asks Sienna how her son is when they first saw each other at the bar. I like your theory. For those who need a refresher, when Audra was first introduced on Y&R, she had a past relationship with Noah. Audra claimed she was pregnant with their baby, but miscarried. From the jump, Audra's miscarriage didn't sit well with fans. This new theory could add a new layer to a story that kind of went by the wayside, and we're ready for it to happen. It also explains Holden's and Audra's backstory, which would make him even more of a villain in the eyes of some people, like Kyle and possibly Claire. There needs to be more to Holden if the powers that be plan to keep him around and make him more entertaining. What do you think about the latest Audra and Holden theory? Sound off in the comments section below. The Young and the Restless scoop for Monday, October 27th reveals Tessa Porter will admit to Daniel Romalotti her marriage may already be over. Also coming up, Lily Winters will be angry with Kane Ashby. Plus, Adam Newman will needle Kane, and Phyllis Summers will brag to Danny Romalotti. Y&R spoilers tease Tessa will dream about making love to Daniel, and it'll be quite intense. However, it'll turn into a nightmare when a policewoman shows up at the door of her suite. She'll say she has a warrant for Mariah Copeland's arrest. At the GCAC restaurant, Kane will walk up to Adam and Chelsea Newman and ask where he can find Victor Newman. Adam will laugh and say he has no idea. Then he'll encourage Kane to leave town. Adam will add that Kane has no allies and no friends. Lily will arrive and Chelsea's eyes will widen. She better not give him a reason to stay, Adam will say. But Chelsea will remind him Kane has made it clear he's not going anywhere. The couple will spend the rest of the episode talking about their son, who hasn't been on screen in months, and how Chelsea doesn't like his new therapist. At Lily and Kane's table, she'll say she assumes he's going to give her the AI program so she can destroy it. But Kane will tell her he's been hacked and the program is gone. Not surprisingly, Lily will be skeptical. However, Kane will say he can prove it. Honoring my promise to you is the most important thing in the world to me. So, Lily will believe him. Kane will say he has a good idea who did it. She'll ask who, and Kane will say it's Phyllis or Victor. Lily will tell him that whatever happens, it's on him. Kane will promise that whoever has it, he's going to find out and destroy it. Meanwhile, Phyllis will walk onto the Crimson Lights patio to find her son sitting there with sunglasses on. He'll take them off, and she'll see he's completely hungover. Then Danny will come along. He'll take one look at Daniel and his eyes will widen. Daniel will explain he was with Tessa but won't give his parents any details, except that they had wine and followed it up with whiskey. "I told you not to go after Tessa. You didn't listen to me," Phyllis will tell him. "You look horrible. You look like death." Then Tessa will call and Daniel will take it inside. She'll invite Daniel to her suite for breakfast. He'll return to the table to grab his sunglasses. "Someone has a pep in their step," Phyllis will say. Daniel will tell his parents he loves them and head out. Phyllis will once again taunt Danny about his upcoming nuptials with the bug, saying he's about to marry the most boring person on the planet. She'll keep looking at her phone, and Danny will ask if she's waiting for someone. Phyllis will brag that she's got a lot going on, and this time she's going to win. Then she'll get a text from Victor telling her to come to the ranch. Danny will look at her phone and see it. "My God, Phyllis, I was worried about you before, but now I'm terrified," he'll say. "What have you gotten yourself into this time?" Finally, Daniel will arrive at Tessa's suite, and she'll tell him about her dream. She'll add she doesn't know what the dream is trying to tell her. Tessa will tell Daniel they definitely have a connection that means a lot to them both. But Daniel will say it can't go beyond that. They both know it and accept it. "Not while I'm married," Tessa will reply. She'll say when she visited Mariah in Boston, her wife kept pushing her away. Was that the beginning of the end, and I just didn't know it? Hey, Y&R fans! Are you enjoying the new CBS Sudser Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. Keep reading The Soap Scoop for Young and The Restless spoilers and news. And make sure to also join our Y&R Facebook group or leave us a reply in our comments section. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Young and the Restless online at cbs.com. Expect shockwaves in Genoa City as old rivalries reignite, new deals are made, and one confrontation gets physical. The teasers for the Tuesday, October 28th episode of The Young and the Restless reveal unexpected deals, heated confrontations that even come to blows, and there's even talk about cryptic messages. The spoiler photos for Tuesday don't quite convey the action and drama that's about to happen. But it does reveal a meeting of the minds when Kane shows up at the Abbott mansion to talk to Jack and Diane. Thanks to YNR's weekly video preview, we know that Kane is forced to make a move after he realizes that someone has stolen his secret superweapon. The viewers know that Phyllis is the one who did the bad deed, and this week, she will try to broker a deal with Victor. Kane's move is to head over to the Abbott mansion, where he looks to warn Jack and Diane. He knows that if Phyllis and/or Victor have control of the AI program, Jabot is a likely target. Jack and Diane have to prepare for a worst-case scenario here. When Jack receives a cryptic message, has the high-tech weapons started to dismantle Jabot? The other major Tuesday news concerns Billy and Adam. Although unclear, this image of Adam and Chelsea may have occurred before the GCAC confrontation, pitting Billy against Adam. The weekly teasers suggest Adam pushes Billy too far, and the video preview shows Billy decking Adam. Of course, Adam's reaction to the whole thing is to look up at his rival and smirk. How will Chelsea react to the showdown? Will she be Team Billy or Team Adam? Young and the Restless spoilers expect Billy Abbott getting extremely violent and attacking Adam Newman out of the blue. We've got YNR spoilers for the week of October 27th, including the Billy and Adam fight, and Phyllis Summers trying to make a shady deal with Victor Newman, and Kane Ashby giving Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins a dire warning. I want to start with crazy, unhinged Phyllis. At the end of this week, she was still lying to Kane and saying she did not steal his AI program. But of course, Phyllis absolutely stole that AI program. She lied right to his face. And then Kane told Phyllis if it's true that she didn't take it, then Kane wants Phyllis to help him find out who stole the AI so they can get it back. Phyllis is telling Kane it's obvious to her, Victor Newman's the one that stole the AI program. This is all part of her little plot. So, Phyllis told Kane she thinks Victor was using Newman Media to throw Kane off his game with those scathing articles, the hit pieces that upset him so much. And Phyllis is saying that Victor is going to use the AI to destroy Kane's company, Arabesque. He's wondering who hacked into his IT department and stole the AI program for Victor, but we all know who it was. So, Kane tells Phyllis that he'll handle Victor. The fact that the AI was stolen is also slowing down Kane's plan to get his kids and Lily Winters to forgive him. And he doesn't need this complication. He wasn't planning on using the program. He was going to let somebody safe have it or destroy it. And Jill Abbott asked for it. He should have just given it to her. At the same time, Kane tells Phyllis he wants her to keep working on a way to restore his image. Kane says he'll distract Victor, and then she can help get the AI software back. So, Phyllis agrees, and Kane's saying, "Oh, I knew I could count on you." The thing is, neither Phyllis nor Kane are buying what the other one's selling. They're both lying to each other, and they both know it because once Kane leaves Phyllis's suite at the GTAC, he made a call to have Phyllis monitored. Every single move she makes, he's going to have watched. Kane wants to know all of this because he really has no doubt that Phyllis is the one that hacked in and stole his missing AI program. The problem is, Kane can't prove it, and the program is gone. As soon as he left her room, we saw Phyllis texting Victor and saying they need to meet and that it's urgent. In official Young and the Restless spoilers for next week, we've got Phyllis meeting up with Victor, and she tells him that she stole Kane's AI program. Phyllis wants to make a deal with Victor and asks if he's interested. And I'm sure he's going to be. Victor may not act too eager. He may want some proof that Phyllis really has it, but obviously, Victor wants this program. Phyllis is doing something very dangerous by lying to Kane and playing Victor off against Kane. Based on the fact that Kane's having Phyllis tracked and followed, I'm sure he's going to know that she runs to meet Victor right after the AI goes missing. So I'm sure Kane is smart enough to know that 1 + 1 = 2, and realize that, yeah, 100% Phyllis stole the program. But the question is, what can Kane do about it? Realistically, there's a very good chance this is going to blow up in Phyllis's face because most things do. I do remember that Kane was talking about letting Billy use the program, and Billy would only think he was in charge of it, but Kane would be controlling it remotely. So, I do wonder if there's still some kind of back door in the program that Kane can access. But in the end, I doubt Phyllis is going to get a big win out of this, and she's betraying literally the only person in Genoa City who gives her the time of day at all. Speaking of this big betrayal, Kane also takes big steps next week, according to Young and the Restless spoilers. We're going to see him heading over to the Abbott mansion, and he warns Jack and Diane. So Kane is going to tell Jack and Diane that there's potentially a very serious threat to Jabot. I don't think Kane thinks that Phyllis will launch it at their company, but Kane has probably figured out by that point that Phyllis ran to Victor. Kane knows that if Victor cut a deal with her, then the mustache will use the AI to target Jack and Jabot because he's got that big grudge. And that's exactly what Victor told Kane he wanted to do. So, I'm sure that Jack is going to be smart, and he'll take Kane's warning seriously. I also do wonder if Kane tells Jack and Diane that it's Phyllis who stole the AI and took it to Victor. It would also be interesting if Kane's got some sort of countermeasure or some kind of virus protection sort of program against the AI, like when people design a disease and they also design the vaccine or the cure. Maybe Kane has got something that he can offer to Jack to prevent the AI from infiltrating Jabot. That would be something really funny to see Victor come up against. Of course, the biggest and most explosive drama next week on Young and the Restless is between Adam and Billy. As this week ends, we've got Sally Spectra and Billy disagreeing over her hiring Audra Charles to be part of the executive team at Abbottcom that they're trying to get up and running again. Billy doesn't want Audra there, and he was pressing Sally to run it by his mom, Jill, for approval since she is financing the company. But Sally doesn't think she needs to because, first of all, Jill's a silent partner, and second, Sally doesn't want Jill to think that she's going to run every decision by her. Smart thinking on Sally's part. So, on the heels of that discussion looks to be when Adam saunters into the GCAC with Chelsea Lawson. I don't know, maybe Adam's taunting Billy about working for Sally because he's a loser who can't run his own company. Something sets Billy off, something big. No matter what it is that Adam says though, Billy seems to overreact and he hauls off and he brutally punches Adam. Billy savagely attacks Adam so badly he knocks him completely down to the floor right in the lobby of the GCAC. Chelsea is looking on in horror and shock. Of course, this is terrible timing for Billy to do this, because not only does it make him look bad to Chelsea, but it makes Adam look like the victim, and he may be in this case. I don't think Sally is going to appreciate Billy doing this either, because it could make headlines in Newman media, which is an embarrassment Sally doesn't need as she's planning to try and relaunch Abbottcom. Jill may even call Sally to threaten funding because she doesn't have Billy under control. If his attack on Adam screws up Abbottcom, I think Sally is going to lose it. Also, watch next week for Sienna Bacall to deliver some dirt to Kyle Abbott about Audra. We know Sienna doesn't like Audra one bit, but she does like Holden Novak. So, Sienna's not going to give Kyle any ammo on Claire Grace Newman's new guy. But Audra is another matter entirely. We head into November sweeps starting Thursday and Friday of next week, and Young and the Restless is going to get into some fun stuff. Be sure to check back tomorrow for our full weekly spoilers for the week of October 27th through the 31st. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Genoa City is on the brink of yet another seismic family shakeup, and this time, it's coming from a familiar face with a dark new edge. Reed Hellstrom, the long-absent son of Victoria Newman, and J.T. Hellstrom, is making his shocking return, and his reappearance could unravel secrets the Newmans thought were buried for good. Reed has been gone for years, quietly building a life for himself away from the chaos of Genoa City. But his sudden comeback, and the quiet storm behind his eyes, hints that he's not returning for reconciliation. He's returning for answers, and maybe revenge. Victoria Newman has faced countless emotional battles, from her tumultuous history with JT to corporate wars that nearly destroyed her. Yet nothing could prepare her for seeing the son she lost touch with standing at her door again, older, harder, and carrying truths that could rip the Newman family apart. For Victor Newman, the patriarch who has always prided himself on control, Reed's return is a haunting reminder that not everything can be managed or contained. When he receives an anonymous message saying he knows what really happened to Noah, Victor's world tilts, because only a handful of people know about the accident and the cover-up that followed. When Reed finally steps back into the Newman orbit, he's not the uncertain boy they remember. He's a man now, one who's seen the world and learned how to play his own version of the power game. But behind his calm exterior lies years of resentment. He's watched from afar as the Newman name continued to dominate, even as it destroyed those caught in its shadow. Victoria is torn between relief and dread. She rushes to embrace her son, whispering, "You're back!" But Reed's stiff reaction says more than words ever could. He isn't here to be comforted. He's here for the truth, and maybe justice. As their reunion unfolds, Reed begins to peel back the layers of the past, forcing Victoria to confront choices she's long buried. His cryptic hints about Noah's past and whispers of a secret connected to JT's disappearance set off alarm bells across Genoa City. The Newmans are no strangers to betrayal, but this time, the threat is coming from within. Reed's homecoming could expose everything, from corporate manipulation to a long-forgotten cover-up that might destroy the Newman dynasty forever. While wooing Claire back may be off the table for now, young and restless Kyle is working to get best value for his trip to LA by digging for dirt on Audra down at the Shadow Room. And the Pandora's box that's opened by Sienna may have far-reaching and chaotic ramifications back in Genoa City. Putting together Audra's past has been like trying to assemble a jigsaw puzzle missing numerous pieces. But Kyle appears to be on the verge of unearthing those his former lover had deliberately swept under the rug. Not one, but two of Audra's past connections are currently on the canvas, which tells us that we're about to find out a whole lot more about the vixen and what she's been hiding. But Kyle's discovery seems as likely to unleash chaos in Genoa City as it does to help him accomplish the revenge he's so desperately seeking. Why? First, Sally may be setting herself and her company up for a second failure by hiring her BFF. The foreshadowing of Billy giving Audra a prominent position and urging her to run it by Jill first means the writing is on the wall. Whatever comes out about Audra could sound the death knell for Abbott Communications on what will be its second attempt to launch. It's not like her boyfriend will be any help to Sally. It's clear from Young and Restless spoilers that Billy's about to become entangled with Phyllis again, which undoubtedly will reignite his obsession with taking down Victor, getting Chancellor back. Second, Audra's secret almost certainly involves Holden, who helped Charles out of some kind of jam during their time together in Los Angeles. Whether it's shady business dealings or something more personal, Novak has since established a deepening friendship with Claire Newman, so any disturbing tidbit that includes him is going to turn our Pollyanna's world upside down and is bound to catch the attention of Nikki and Victor and draw in the entire clan. If their granddaughter is running around LA with an unethical man, it will be a high-alert situation. Third, Noah Newman, Audra's ex-live-in love, is back on the scene, albeit in a coma. And if our hunch is correct, her mega-secret will affect him as well. After all, there's an entire mystery here that young and restless viewers never received answers about. After Audra and Noah split, she supposedly lost his baby and later got married to an old childhood sweetheart. She was also involved with Tucker, which makes it a tangled web she's weaved indeed. Might there be more to the story of this pregnancy? It's not inconceivable that Audra could have had someone's baby and decided to give it up for adoption, considering her own fractured family background. Could Audra's secret be more along personal lines than professional? Perhaps Noah's child didn't die? Maybe Audra and Holden were briefly married? Will a desperate act come back to haunt her by bringing down her best friend's startup? How does Tucker fit in? We don't the answers yet, but one thing is certain. Audra Charles's secret is set to come out and cause complete chaos in Genoa City. The stillness over Los Angeles was unnatural when Victor and Nikki Newman's jet touched down. They bypassed the dawn, hurrying through sterile hospital corridors that smelled of antiseptic and fear. For decades, they had faced corporate wars and family betrayals, but nothing prepared them for the sight of their grandson, Noah, broken and silent, his breathing maintained only by the rhythmic pulse of a machine. Nikki Newman clutched her husband's arm, her composure shattering as she stared at the shell of the vibrant man he had been. The Newmans, a family defined by power, were rendered utterly helpless. Victor, a patriarch accustomed to control, demanded answers. The doctors offered only hollow assurances. Noah was stable, but fragile. But as Victor stood vigil, refusing to accept defeat, the impossible happened. Noah's finger twitched. Victor leaned in, his eyes locked on his grandson. "Noah! What happened?" Noah's eyelids fluttered, revealing eyes wide with a terror that cut Victor to the core. A fractured whisper escaped his lips, a story of blinding headlights on a dark canyon road. He hadn't lost control. He hadn't been distracted. "Someone rammed me," he choked out, the memory dragging him back under. Deliberately. The accusation hung in the air, monstrous and clarifying. This was not an accident. It was an attack. Before Victor could ask who, the monitors shrieked. Noah coded, his body convulsing as the trauma of the memory proved too much. Doctors flooded the room, forcing a frantic Victor and a sobbing Nikki back. They stabilized him, but the damage was done. Noah slipped back into unconsciousness, this time deeper. The revelation transformed Victor's grief into a cold, focused rage. When Nick and Sharon arrived, their anguish filled the room, but the family's shared sorrow quickly fractured. The doctor issued a stern warning. When, or if, Noah woke again, he must not be pressured. The shock of the memory had nearly killed him. Another interrogation could be fatal. Sharon, desperate to protect her son, clung to the doctor's words. But Victor saw only an obstacle. "We must know who did this," Victor stated, his voice flat and dangerous. Sharon erupted. "He needs to heal, Victor, not to be used for your crusade." The old wounds between them tore open. Sharon accused him of prioritizing vengeance over his grandson's life, while Victor countered that weakness was an invitation for the enemy to strike again. They didn't know that across town, the enemy was already panicking. Holden and Sienna, two of Noah's recent and shadiest LA associates, saw the news of Victor Newman's arrival. The accident had gone too far. They had meant to send a warning, not commit a murder. Now, the most ruthless man they had ever known was in their city, hunting for the truth. This week's Y&R video preview reveals that tensions arise between Adam and Billy, while new alliances emerge. Halloween will be filled with many tricks this week on the young and the restless. This week's video preview shows that new business alliances are formed while a longtime feud reaches its fever pitch. Here's a sneak peek of what's ahead for October 27-31. Kane's business partnership with Phyllis is over. After she hacked into his computer system and stole his AI software, Kane is resorting to Plan B. Now that Phyllis has the software, Kane knows it's trouble for him and everyone else. This week, Kane meets with Jack and Diane to warn them about a serious threat to Jabot. If Victor somehow gets his hands on the software, there's no doubt he'll use it to attack Jabot. However, Kane could offer Jack a deal where they team up to stop Victor. Jack has trust issues when it comes to Kane, but with Jabot's future at stake, he might have no other choice. Now that Phyllis has Kane's AI software, she thinks she has all the pure. With the AI program, she's ready to wheel and deal with Genoa City's top businesses. Her first client is none other than Victor. Phyllis stops by the Newman ranch and lets Victor in on her secret. She stole Kane's AI program and wants to make a deal with Victor. The mustache seems intrigued by Phyllis's offer and will do anything to get his hands on the software. Phyllis and Victor are strong-willed and fiery individuals, so teaming up is likely to lead to disaster. Will the two plot to ruin Newman Enterprises' competitors? Or will Phyllis and Victor end up double-crossing each other? Adam and Billy's long-standing rivalry isn't slowing down anytime soon. The two men can't resist trading barbs in public, but this time, things get physical. The two are at GCAC in a heated conversation when Billy punches Adam. Chelsea arrives in time to see their fight and is horrified. She's always had a soft spot for her ex and has defended him against Adam and the Newmans. However, Billy's recent actions may cause Chelsea to see him in a different light.